Hi guys! Today's review is going to be of this awesome looking dude. It is the NECA 2014 Godzilla. I believe this was the first, or at least one of the first Godzilla figures that NECA released. So, because it's an early one, it's sort of got a few flaws in terms of articulation, because it can be very limited. But we'll start off by having an actual better look at the figure itself. So if my camera would like to focus, there we go. So that is the head. If you can make it out, mine sort of has a little red splodge on the side of the head. And that is one of NECA's QC issues. They sort of just went with the paint. So yeah, so we have some very nice detail going down. That's the focus camera. No, that's my hand. Okay, so that's the face from the front. Then going down the side, so we have his gills here. Because we know Godzilla is partly aquatic as well. We have the nice spikes going down the back. There's the arm. There's a little hand. Focus. Okay. This is arm with his little hand. Oh yeah, more spikes. Godzilla loves the back spikes. And going down the leg. I'm holding it at an angle like this so you can see the detail up in the light. Yeah. And then his little feet, which you can't really see no matter where I hold them. But there's his little feet. And down his tail, obviously we continue the spikes. But then it trails off to a little tip. And the tail makes up most of the length of this figure. Again, if you are literally getting this figure and putting it on display somewhere, do take into account that the tail will take up a lot of space. But then again, you can always put other figures standing over the tail. So yeah. And then the other side is exactly the same, minus the paint splodge, because this side is the better side of my figure. So for articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint, but it's kind of a limited ball joint. The mouth can open. There you go. That's as far as the mouth will open, which is a shame because I know he opens his mouth a lot wider than that in the film. And oh my god, my camera keeps wanting to focus on the background. The neck is also on a ball joint. The body here is on a ball joint that's got a limited, like, side to side, and a limited rotation as well. And the arms, the shoulders are ball joints, because the elbows are just hinges, but they can also be swivels. The wrists, I believe, are on a ball joint, just because you can hold the arm. You can get a good range of movement on the wrists, so I think the wrists are ball joints. Anyway, put the arms like that. At the hip, that is a ball joint. But one of the problems is when you're posing this one, is if you get the leg into some sort of weird pose like that, like he's running, you're going to have voids. And I believe this figure actually does some design changes for that, because I think it's a double ball joint in here. So if you rearrange the leg a little bit, you can sort of cover up those voids. And then you got to reposition the leg to cover up the void of when it stands up. The knee is just a hinge and really doesn't go far. That's as far forward as it'll go, and that's as far back. But it does act as a swivel as well. The feet are on ball joints. And the tail Now the tail is where the posability gets a little crazy. In pretty much all Godzilla figures, the NECAs and like the SH Monster Arts ones. SH Monster Arts ones are a little bit more though. So you got a ball joint at the base of the tail. Pretty much every segment in this tail is a ball joint. So there's another ball joint there. There's another one there that's a little more limited. And then you've got this one here that has quite a lot of range of movement. And then the rest of the tail is made of the rubbery material and has a wire in it. So you can pose it apart from this bit. This is just floppy. But yeah, this chunky bit of the tail, as you can see where all these little holes are. That sort of indicates that there's the wire in it, so you can pose the tail. But the rubber, as you can see, the tail is quite thick, so the rubber kind of hinders the wire's movements, because I cannot bend this one-handed. See? And the tail, the tail's quite floppy. It will still hold a pose though, I think. Yeah, like I've got it there off the ground a little bit. Yeah, he's quite good. None of his, apart from the floppy tail, none of his joints are loose, so he will hold poses, apart from tail poses. So hang on, let me just get him, I'll get him into the pose that I tend to have him displayed on. So there we go. I just sort of have him like he's waving to you. Because, like I said, the posability is quite limited, even though it's got all the joints there, but it's still quite limited just because of how chunky the figure is. And so you can't really get him into any Godzilla-like poses, apart from if he just stands with his arms like normal, basically like a T-Rex would hold his arms. But yeah, you can't really do much posability with him. Anyway, we'll move him to the side and we'll have some size comparisons. There we go, now he's in shot. So we'll start off with, here he is with the World of Nintendo Fox McCloud figure. And you see, NECAs are quite a bit bigger. There you go, wave at the camera. NECAs are quite a bit bigger than that. Then we have one of the FNAF Funko figures. I brought Nightmare Chica in this time. See that? There's just a little slight height difference in them. And then we'll bring the Figma in. I'm moving back a little bit, so he's moving. So yes, and that's Figma Kuritsugu. And with that, I meant the Figma is stood on its base, so with its base, they are kind of the same height, but just standing it without the base, obviously there'll be like, I think, a centimetre difference in them. So yeah, I'll just put all those figures back over here. But yeah, that's really all there is to say about this figure. I would, if it was a bit more posable, like the joints had better ranges, I would love to have said more about it. But yeah, as for a representation of the 2014 Godzilla, it's very good. There is obviously with the SH Monster Arts one has a bit better articulation and better detail. But in terms of size, I don't think there's much size-wise. So this one is more affordable. This is definitely the more affordable one. And it's still a good collectible figure. I do have one more NECA Godzilla figure to review at some point. I don't know when. I already have next week's review planned out. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.